Dearly beloved, this is Daniel Bessedin promoting one of the greatest shows on earth, a dating show between Australia and the glorious nation of Kazakhstan. Now, in a nutshell, one of the Aussie guys selected by us would travel to Kazakhstan and compete for the heart of a beautiful local lady against two local guys. Alright, so it's going to be an uneven battle, but that's okay. Now we're here talking to one of his predecessors from US of A, Chris, who came here years ago and went all the way through to marriage and having a beautiful baby daughter. Okay, now Chris, my first question is, what was your initial perception of Kazakhstan when you came here?
To be honest, I was shocked because I was expecting, I don't know, camels and horses, maybe everyone's sitting on it, and then I came and saw like Bugattis and Mercedes and Maybachs and like a crazy amount, almost like we were in Dubai or something.
Yeah.
It was the first time, and then nice cars, beautiful city. Almaty was the first place we came, so yeah, I was really shocked. I mean, it was, and I thought maybe all girls would be in hijabs and, you know, it'd be like super Islamic here or something, but it wasn't. It was much different.
Can you tell us how you met your wife?
Sure, it's a crazy story actually. We were both in India, volunteering there, and in a small village I was working, and she had brought a team from Central Asia.
Oh yeah.
And funny thing is, I was sitting on a bench with a local Indian guy, and I said, when I saw them walk up and everyone was whispering, "Wow, look, these beautiful girls from a different country. We don't know where they're from." And I said, and I pointed at my wife and I said, then it wasn't my wife, and I said, "I'll marry that girl." And I just knew it, something deep down. So, yeah.
Wow, you had that epiphany.
Yeah, really.
Okay, yeah. All right, so you came to Kazakhstan, obviously, and you kind of met all of her family members straight away, or it took some time?
It took a little time. Actually, I went back to the States. 6 months, we did a little Skype dating. Back then, there was no WhatsApp. So.
Yeah, okay, fair enough, yeah.
So we did a little bit on Skype, and I started looking up things about Kazakhstan, trying to more figure it out. And when I first came back, actually, it was just a couple of weeks, and we straight went to her village. And I needed to talk to her father. So that was the traditional way. And she has 7 brothers, so it was very interesting.
It was very intensive,
Very intense, yeah.
Okay, all right.
So, that's where we're at.
So what happened? So you came to the village, to get to know the family and kind of pop up the question, I guess?
Yeah, it's, I think, kind of old school tradition, like maybe my granddad's time, like still happening here, where you have to get permission from the father. So that's just the respect way to do it. So I came and I had a translator because I couldn't speak any or Russian or Kazakh or anything.
Okay.
And we had a translator. The guy who was translating was also in a relationship, and he was like texting on the phone with her and wasn't doing everything straight for me. So I was really nervous, and all these people were surrounding us, and we're eating a lot of food. And we had this. They have tradition. They start in the daytime, just bringing food, salads and different things, and we had plov and different things. Bishpamak was at the end, and that's the traditional dish, you know. Like, and I kept eating and eating. I didn't know there was more food coming, and I was getting so full, you know. And finally, it was time. My translator said, "Okay, it's time. You can ask." And I asked, and he was busy doing something, and then everything blew up. The father was angry and yelled and walked away, and people were crying and we left in other directions. And I was like, "I'm gonna die tonight in Kazakhstan. It's my last breath, you know." And the next morning, I asked my translator, like, "So can we ask her father again, or what do I need to do?" He said, "Oh, he already said yes. I just forgot to tell you." You know? They were arguing about something else. I was like gonna kill him. So it was really
how
intense.
Because in Kazakhstan there's a bit of a kind of stereotype that the brothers, they're kind of very protective. How did the brothers take
It's
you
not
in?
a stereotype.
It is the way it is.
Yeah, it is what it is, and it's a good thing actually. But the brothers more, I think, they were happy for her to be getting married, and they were kind of happy to have a American brother-in-law. So it was something interesting. But they did play games with me, and they made it a little bit like, you know, like, "We're gonna get you if you don't do something right." So my dad told me, like, 7 brothers, you better learn language quick. You know? So, but it's nice, and family is really strong here, and still, like, it's really a good thing. We're in the West, I think we've got a different way, you know. Like,
Have you had a traditional Kazakh wedding?
we did more of a Western style wedding here in Almaty. And in the States, we did a really traditional Kazakh wedding. We even had Dombra, and one guy was throwing shashu, and we had like we were doing different things. So, and it was funny because in America they said, "Wow, it makes our weddings look like funerals, like because you're so colorful." And like, I was wearing the traditional dress, and one guy said, "It's like Fantasia, like you're like Mickey Mouse with fireworks going off." So so that's how we did it.
So where was the wedding? Where was it?
We did one here, actually in a local church, because it just happens to be my wife is Christian.
Oh, okay.
So, and then in America, same. So, but we had big tattoo, and they really like a wedding. They really love parties. So, partying is a big thing, and wedding is a big thing, and going to meet the family, back and forth. It's traditional stuff. It's still, especially people from the village side, maybe more than the city. But
so, let's say, how frequently do you guys go and visit your wife's relatives back in the village?
Any kind of big birthdays, and having 7 brothers, there's a lot of cousins, and a lot
of birthdays.
Yeah, a lot of birthdays, a lot of a wedding. Now, actually, one of her cousins is about to get married, so we have to go do casa tour, which we'll go meet them. So they're always using me because it's something interesting. Have an American guy go and meet the girl's family, the boy's family, and so I'd say 3-4 times a year, probably.
Okay. Now, you obviously being a foreigner, from the Western world, living now in Kazakhstan for 9 years.
9 years.
Yeah. Can you reflect on it? I mean, you're 9 years in Kazakhstan. How would you reflect on it?
It was a journey. I think as a Westerner, it's kind of exotic, something coming here at first, and we call the honeymoon phase, kind of, in marriage and in a new country, in a new culture. When that ended, I would sometimes get frustrated because of the differences of culture. Especially driving, maybe for me was the hardest. And still, I ended up selling my car and just take public transportation, which is great now in Almaty, because it was just so frustrating for me. So I think the hardest thing was just, as an American, I guess, learning that because something's different doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just different. And it was hard for me. I was yelling at people, "You can't drive, why don't you turn?" And my wife's always asking, "They can't hear you, like the windows."
So if you compare an American culture, the way of living, let's say, to Kazakh culture and the way of living, what are the 1 or 2 kind of biggest advantages for you that you can highlight in terms of being in Kazakhstan, living here?
Doing business, one thing. We started out in, as far as that kind of goes, like coffee world, for example, there's way less competition, so it was much easier to get started. In small business, it's been pretty good doing here. That, and to be really honest, I think freedom is more here. I mean,
there's more freedom here.
I feel like, because some people are saying in America it's free and this and that, but I said, have you seen our logos? It's like stacked to the roof. There's like, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. We're here, it's a lot more open. I mean, there's of course a line of right and wrong, but I don't know, I feel more free somehow.
You feel more free here?
I do. I think it's...
And if we talk on the personal level, in terms of like social cohesiveness and so on, how would you compare, let's say, American people to people in Kazakhstan?
To be honest, in Kazakhstan, in Almaty, it's a much more multicultural place, and they're more open, way more open. We were in West Kazakhstan, and Uptown was a little different. People were like, "Why are you marrying a Kazakh girl? You couldn't find an American girl." But in my small town in America, where I'm from, it was way worse. People staring at us, and where you found, why aren't you with your own kind of things, and we had more questions there than we did ever here. And I've been much more accepted here than. It's kind of sad to say that my wife was even in America. My family, of course, accepted, and my friends and understood, but a lot of people who didn't understand or like, "Oh, that's Muslim, why you would," or they had this perception or whatever of what it is, and so I would say, I've been much more accepted here than there for sure. And most people are happy to see us, and like, don't even question it or think about it. In general, it's been like that.
So what would be your advice, to, let's say, John or Brian somewhere in Melbourne or Sydney watching this, all right? And he says, should I try it? Should I try this gig? What would be your one piece of advice for that guy?
Learn some even few words of Kazakh.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum, salamansız bro, rahmet, thank you. It brings so much more respect. Like when the family of that girl would hear you speak some Kazakh, they would be so happy that a foreigner, someone outside. There's a lot of people here, even Kazakhs and Russians, who never learned Kazakh.
That's true.
And so for an outsider to learn it, it's like big respect, and you will win a lot of brownie points. So I would say just learn a few words and learn a little bit about the culture, so you don't feel like ignorant about what's going on here. And just you can look it up or ask people. People are happy to talk to you about it. So
awesome. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah,
that was
okay.
great. Okay, guys, you've heard Chris. Now it's your call. Thank you.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Siste natten ska
Iliana.
Iliana. Gdzie doma?